Hey yo, it's Kyle here. Want to talk about my thoughts on the new World Heavyweight Champion in TNA, Magnus. So I want to get my thoughts on this. Uh, I think I'm finally glad that Magnus is a world champion, especially in TNA. Surprisingly, there have been some people that have been kind of turned off from Magnus and that have excuse me, they've been turned off from Magnus and that don't really like the fact that he's TNA World Champion. And I think the people that think that is because of or have that those feelings or opinions is probably due to the situation that's currently going on between AJ Styles and TNA. And as it comes to light, the whole situation with AJ Styles seems to be more legit. That he's not coming back with TNA and that he's literally gone with TNA. Even though I still believe it's a work, more things are popping up that kind of speculate that the whole thing between TNA and AJ, or AJ being done with TNA, seems to be factual and true. But I still think it's a work, and I made a video on that. But to me, I have no problem, excuse me, with Magnus being the World Heavyweight Champion in TNA. Excuse me. I think Magnus has. I think he has a good look. I think Magnus is he's a good wrestler. He's not the best talker in the world, but he could get by with that with his British accent, his English accent, which I think is fine. Okay. Magnus is one of those guys. That TNA have been consistent in building up over the last, perhaps over the last year. You know, he was tag team champions with Samoa Joe, had some feuds with Joe over the TV title last year. This year they had him in some big feuds. He had some pretty big feuds. He was in the finals of the tournament in TNA for the Bound for Glory series. He had a big marquee match, even though the match itself really wasn't great. It was supposed to kind of be like that big, what it represented was supposed to have been like, that older veteran passing the torch to the new guy, which was being Magnus and staying at Bound for Glory. He's Magnus was a part of the faction of the newer version of the Main Event Mafia and kind of getting that rub from both Sting and Kurt Angle. Everyone in TNA, Kurt Angle and Bully Ray, they've always said, Magnus, you're the future. He's the future of TNA. He's this of TNA. He's the next big star in TNA. So you can tell over the last year or so they've really been grooming Magnus. And TNA has been consistent in the push with Magnus. And, he won the World Championship tournament. And he's now the new World Heavyweight Champion. I'm fine with that. Magnus is 27 years old. He's in his prime, age-wise. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with him. The only problem, though, I have is them turning Magnus heel. I don't think that was such a smart thing from TNA. TNA does not have a lot of strong baby faces, with the exception of Jeff Hardy. They don't really have a lot of strong baby faces, which I think is something that they really need. Secondly, it seems to be a thing with TNA where they book their heels stronger when they're world champions than they do their baby faces. You look at Bully Ray, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries is probably an exception, but for the most part, their heels are booked stronger as champions compared to their baby faces when their baby faces are champion. So maybe he'll have a strong booking as world champion. I don't know. I just don't like the fact that they have him as the baby face. They've turned him heel or turning him heel. I just don't like that thought. I think for a fresh, new, original TNA star like him to be a world champion, I think they need to let him be a good guy. Let him be that new face of the company for TNA, at least that they're trying to build, if what's going on between AJ Styles is legit and real. I don't know, but either way, like I said, I am interested to see what they're going to do with him. I do like Magnus. He's a young guy. He's not an old WWE guy. He's in his prime. He's young, and on top of that, he's one of TNA's own original stars. You know, he's one of their original talent, their own homegrown talent, which is something that TNA needs to do. You know, continue to build. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with Magnus. You guys let me know what you think about Magnus being the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Do you like it? Don't like it? Are you fine with him being a heel? Do you think he should have stayed as a babyface? What do you think you know, is going to happen with this his connection with the Dixie Carter and Dixie Carter and EC3 and, you know, this whole little faction they got kind of similar they're going on? Let me know what you think in the box below. Subscribe. Peace.